Yes, it seems the videos are coming back to back today, boys and gentlemen. I'm on my way to Harbor Freight to get rid of a gun, screwdriver, whatever you want to call them. That is of no use to me. But that's not what you're here for, because that's not what I named this video about. So, what does this guy right here have in common with everybody else in America? He notices gas prices. He notices the mysterious number of factory fires that are showing up in the food industry. He notices people do not want to work. He notices political bias on either side of the aisle. Where do I sit? You can probably figure it out pretty easy. But where I sit's not important. What I want to state, my opinion that I want to throw out there, the mud that I want to sling today, is in fact against the LGBTQ alphabet people. Now, I got a good friend that's gay. I know a couple of people that are bi. I've had girlfriends that were bisexual. Every one of them cheat on people left and right. And you know what? Straight people do too. So, to keep this real short, it's not about their personality. It's about the mindset. Everyone's saying that gender's on a spectrum. Okay. But that's not what y'all been saying for 10 years. Y'all been saying, believe all women. Men are bad. Men are toxic. Okay, well, if all men are bad and all men are toxic and believe all women, how do we have a spectrum? Where do you have to be on the spectrum to be bad or toxic? Yeah, I said it. If all men are bad, if we are toxic, if cisgendered males are bad and evil and so horrible, what part of the spectrum do we have to be on to become this terrible, toxic motherfucker? What's the line? What's the line, boys and girls? What's the line, ladies and gentlemen? Is it when you start working 2 jobs to provide for a family because you give a shit? Is it when you drive a vehicle that carries tools because you work hard with your hands? Is it when you're out providing for people because you give a fuck? Is it when you start carrying a gun for yours and others' safety, whether you have a heart problem, an arm problem, a disability of some kind? Is it what pushes you on the spectrum far enough male to not be believed, to be hated, and that you become toxic? See, these people, these alphabet people, these lesbians, gays, bisexuals, transvestites, queers, these people in the furry community, I said it, people in the furry community are a good example of spectrums. There's ones that like guns, there's ones that are southern, there's ones that aren't just furry, they're fish, or whatever they say. And so there's lots of things on that variety and spectrum. But gender cannot be a social construct, because if it is, you're lying when you say men are toxic. Toxic masculinity does not exist, because for the last 100 years we have seen a decline in fathers in the households, a decline of men standing up and doing what's right, a decline of men being manly, and a decline in testosterone levels, and y'all are saying we're more toxic than ever. The fuck? So, this has just been on my mind. It's been snowballing. It's not that some woman somewhere has called me toxic. It's not that some guy in a dress somewhere has called me toxic. It's not that some homosexual has called me toxic. It's not because some cisgendered male misunderstood and thought I was a gay guy and called me toxic. No. This is genuinely because I've been trying to understand this since it came out. Since all of it came out. Since everything came out. I have been keeping my mouth shut on a number of things that I didn't understand to try to grasp them. And this is one that I am at a head with. If you believe Amber Heard, because believe all women, if you're part of the Me Too movement, which is purely for females, and you're a member of the LGBTQ community, and you don't think that gender is only two, how the fuck do you believe all women? Does that mean that the people that believe they're aliens don't get to be believed because they don't classify as women? Does that mean that the women who turn into men don't get to be believed because they've become men? Does that mean you can only be believed if you're a female? And if you're transgender and you transgender into being a female, that you don't get believed because you were a man? Where does that stop? Where does that stop, ladies and gentlemen? Let's have a powwow in the comments where the rest of us God-fearing believers, the rest of us holy people, the holy rollers, the right wing, the conservatives, and the left in general can all sit down and have a decent conversation about where this fucking ends. Where do you get believed? Where do you become toxic? Where do you become a man in the first place? How do you become believed as a woman if you're on a spectrum of woman to man and alien and Cybertruck? How do we relate these sentences, believe all women, and men are toxic, to the theory that there is no man and woman and that everybody's on this blurred line between salt water and clear water? You know what I'm saying? This is not brackish water here. This is man and female. That's the statements that y'all are giving, unless y'all want to discuss gender, in which case it's suddenly fluid. So let's find out what you truly mean, how you truly feel. Give us the information. I'm asking you to do so in the comments below.